I am good. I am good, Priyankini. How are you? And today
I'm good. I'm good.
I am seeing that very light on your face. Today you are looking very in the okay.
Yes, I had to
So
change the settings because
okay.
last time I was looking little hazy. So this time I thought little lights
No,
and
no, no.
all. I'm ready with all the things.
This time you are looking very
Mona Lisa, Soumya Khan. Thank you, Ishan, for joining. Thank you, Asha. So Ishan is my colleague. So
okay.
a lot of my
Good.
colleagues are joining.
Welcome, Ishan. Welcome to
Hi,
all of you.
Ishan.
Welcome to all of you. So, Priyankini, now we have started today's session. Okay, so let's start.
Okay.
Hi
Yes.
everyone. I am Vishal Best this site, and I am the founder of TURNSKILL. And at the TURNSKILL, we are providing the best courses, coaches, and mentors on a single platform. And also, we are running this TURNSKILL live on Instagram, where we are connecting you from industry experts like Priyankini. Priyankini is this is the second time comes in our live event, and welcome Priyankini. So I just introduced to Priyankini to all of you that Priyankini is a life coach and a mentor. She is an author also, and she is also a mentor on our platform. So once again, Priyankini, thank you for joining this session. So before starting this session, I want to know about but I just shared the today's session for our all of our viewers. So today we are discussing on the stress and depressions in the professionals and the entrepreneurs life. Okay, so welcome Priyankini. Now start. You can just introduce yourself, and then
Thank you
I
so
will ask
much.
you the first question.
Thank you so much, Vishalji, for the warm introduction, warm welcome, and the beautiful introduction, in fact. So, let me introduce. So, that was Vishal sir's way of introducing me. So, let me introduce myself first. So, I am Priyankini. For those who people don't know me, and those who know me, that's okay. So, I'm Priyankini, mother of two beautiful daughters, wife of a super supportive husband, an engineer turned a public speaking trainer, turned a confidence coach, and an author. Yes, I'm author of this book called Speak Out. So it's available on Amazon. Feel free to read that. And yes, I started my journey 6 years back as a public speaking trainer. So 3 years back, I started my journey as a coach. I did my coaching from Arfin Khan, which is ICF accredited. And after that, I did my NLP practitioner course from AB NLP, which is American Board of Neuro Linguistic Programming. And then I completed my CBT. So, I started with public speaking and then coaching. And now, recently, 6 to 7 months back, I have started working with people who are suffering from mental illness. So basically in the field of mental health. So I primarily work with people who are going through depression or stress or anxiety. Now, why I entered into this field, I have two reasons. So number one is, when I used to talk to people in this situation, in this COVID situation, so if I talk to 10 people, one out of them was suffering from depression, right? That is one thing. So as a confidence coach, I realized from within that, these people are the ones who need the most of confidence. They need more confidence to restart their life, reignite their life, start their life afresh. And the second very big reason is that, when I started working with these people, so initially I started, coaching them for free, right? So like the people around me, like my husband's friends, friends wife. So these people, when I started coaching them for free, the level of satisfaction which I felt from within was like uncomparable, right? So that is what attracted me and pulled me towards this field. So I'm neither a counselor nor a psychologist, but yes, I call myself a coach. So yes, I help people who are into depression, to I pull them out of that, right, through different tools and techniques. So that's all about me. Yes, Visalji, you can start your questions now.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Priyankini. It's really nice to understand all what exactly you are doing, new things in your career and coaching Okay, so my first questions for the today's session is, what is the cause of stress and depression? We always heard about everything, or everyone is stressed in the COVID time. Lots of everyone from the whole of the world are
Yes. Yes.
into the only for their house. So they are working from home culture. School are running from this home. So I just want to understand what is the cause of the stress and depressions. Uh, so please tell me.
Great. So that's a very good question. Thank you so much, Vishal sir, for addressing this. So before going ahead to the cause of depression, I would or stress, I would like to start with what is stress, right? It's very important to know first, like what is stress. So I say that stress is not real. Right now, normally, let me give you a small scenario wherein, suppose in the Bangalore, right, the traffic is like very every time there's a heavy traffic. Now
Mm-hmm.
I am thinking that, this is now it's 6 o'clock. My house is just 20 minutes away from the office, right? And I think that, okay, I start thinking in my mind that, okay, 8 p.m., I have to take my daughter to a birthday party. So what if I don't reach till 8 p.m. because the traffic is so bad, right?
Right.
So that causes stress. So is that real? That is not real because we are
Real.
just anticipating that, right? So stress not necessarily is always bad. Sometimes, stress can be good as well, right? So there is good stress and bad stress. So stress is good when, in a work scenario, suppose you have to meet a deadline or you have to give an important presentation. So
Mm-hmm.
suppose you are a little stressed, what you will do is, you will give your 100% and you will
100%.
prepare really well for that, right? And you will completely, be enthusiastic about, you will be ready to take challenges. But yes, at the same time, when this stress crosses a certain level, then it's no more good. Of course, it starts it start creating damage to your body and mind, right? And that is when we need to be aware of. Now I'll talk about the cause. So I'll start with the general causes of depression or stress, and then I will start talking about the professional front or the work scenario, right? Now, in general, if we talk about stress, right? So, from where does it come? So, number one is our life experiences, right? For
Okay.
example, I have gone through a divorce, right? That causes stress. Suppose, I have lost my job. That causes stress, right? Suppose, you know, uh, there is somebody dead in my family, right? Especially in the COVID situation, we are hearing a lot of these things, right? So that is situational according to our life experiences, right? Second thing is your lifestyle, your diet, your physical activity, how much activity you do on a daily basis. If you just sit and eat and, gain weight, so of course that will lead to stress. So there are various reasons, right? So the third is family history. Suppose, in your family, your ancestors, your mom, dad, or your dad's dad, mom, they had some kind of mental illness that can affect your mental health, right? And the last one is the biological factors. Like biological factors meaning there are certain chemicals inside our body that gets released, due to which it causes stress. Hello, Anant, how are you? So, the hormones, sometimes due to different factors, there is a hormonal imbalance in our body, like cortisol, cortisone. When they are produced, it causes stress. So, I would like to emphasize a little more on the life experiences. Now, normally, see, we get around 60,000 thoughts on a daily basis. Like in 24 hours, like our mind is bombarded with like 60,000 thoughts. Out of those thoughts, there are a few thoughts which are like natural. They're just coming and they're going, and we are in peace with it. For example, suppose today I think that, okay, today actually I had ordered a big bed, so it has arrived. So when I think, oh my God, like my bed has arrived and there's a puja temple which I ordered, that has arrived. Okay, these kind of thoughts. Suppose I think that, okay, I have so many plants in my balcony. Today I had, 4 or 5 flowers, right? So these thoughts. And in the kitchen, all my work is done now. I'm free. My maid came today. My husband brought a beautiful sari for me. So, when the thoughts are normal, there is no stress, right? So when does the stress come? When there is a conflict in the thoughts. right? For
Right.
example, if I'm thinking that tomorrow, I have a team meeting, it's very important, and I need to find out a formal dress, because see, the wardrobe is completely disorganized now. I have to pull out something, and then maybe I have to give it for dry wash. Then I'll think, okay, black is fine. Oh my God, black, for the black, I don't have the, matching jewelry. Okay, black, let's go with the blue, right? So when there is a conflict, right? Now there is a conflict between, I'm not able to decide between the black and the blue, right? Now, if I get a solution to this conflict, then there is no stress. But if, it goes on, it starts forming a loop in our mind. That small conflict, it starts growing bigger. And that loop, it will give a rise to another stress, right? So that is like conflict in the mind always creates stress. That is one thing. Second thing is our routine. If there is a small change in our routine, right? Like normally, we are waking up in the morning, I'm going for a jogging, and then I'm starting my day, right? Now, recently there is a change happened in my routine. So initially, 2 months back, I used to start my day at 12 p.m. basically, because for me to get ready, it takes time, and then I, make the baby ready, give her a bath, feed her, and then I'm ready by 12 p.m. for the work. Recently, I joined another organization wherein, we have workshops from 10 a.m. So what
Okay.
happened? There is a change which came into my routine, right? I have to, get ready max by 10, max by 9, 9:30, right? See, though I get ready, I just wake up and get ready and sit, I'm ready, but still my mind is hanging there, right? Although I have people to take care of, I can delegate to other people, they take care of the baby, everything is done, but still, there's a guilt in my mind while
Right.
I'm in the workshop. That time also I'm just thinking about that, oh my God, I didn't give time to the baby today, she's looking for me, so that guilt, it continues, right? So when there is a small change in your routine, right? If the normal routine is going on and on, it's like, okay, no stress. Small change, like nowadays in the COVID situation, the workload has increased a lot, right? Suddenly, instead of working for 7 hours, you are supposed to work for 10 hours, right? So
Right.
that is a change, small change, and that has created a lot of stress. So second thing is routine, right? Third thing is priority. For example, so if Ishan is there, he will be able to relate to this. So what happens is, we have certain priorities in our life, right? That this is most important. So in the morning, I have to do this. Then only I'll start my day, right? So if Mr. X, suppose he's a professional, he says that, okay, early morning, I wake up at 8, 9 a.m. I'll go to gym. I'll do gym for 1 hour. Then after at 10 o'clock, I'll start my office work, or I'll go to office,
Right.
right? One morning he wakes up, Mr. X, and his mom says that, Beta, today your uncle is admitted in the hospital. Can you take me to the hospital? Please don't go to gym today, right? So definitely he will do it, right? Because that is a task which is more priority, that has more priority than the gym one, right? So of course, I mean, he will do it wholeheartedly, but again, he will have the stress that, अरे यार आज तो gym miss हो गया, right? So
Right.
that is, when your priority is not met and some other priority comes up, right? So that causes a lot of stress, right? So other thing can be responsibility. So sometimes we feel that, I can do it all, I can do everything, right? So that is when you overburden yourself and take all of the, I can change the world, I can work for 15 hours. I can, when you take a lot of responsibility, when you overcommit yourself, that again causes stress, right? So yeah, that's all about the causes. Yes, next question.
Okay. So so my next question for today's session: why mental health awareness is important?
Okay, why
Why?
mental health awareness is important? Yes, definitely. Mental health is equally important to physical health, though we do not focus much on, mental health. But it's like, it's like dental health. Like daily, we wash our teeth, right? So definitely, daily we should put inside our routine something related which helps us to strengthen our mental health. Maybe reading, or maybe meditation, right? Maybe some physical activity. So it's really important to be aware of mental health because the effects which the mental health has, it is very much profound, right? It affects the whole quality of your life, your
Right.
physical health, your social well-being, how you interact with the society, and the whole economy as a whole. Right, according to a research in America, like it says that $300 billion of loss the country is going through because of the stress in the workplace, right?
Okay.
So it's high time to be aware of the mental health. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, is it any necessary to take any kind of medications for this for depression?
Okay. So first of all, it is very important to find out whether that worry or stress or depression that is temporary or it is permanent, right? Temporary, for example, it comes and goes and it is situational based. Like suppose, something happened in my life, like I lost maybe my dad, my grandfather or somebody. So I'm stressed, right? So that is temporary. It will come and it will go. Now, if the stress is temporary and that has caused only because of a situation, then it is under our control, right?
Right.
So the first thing is talk to your friends or family members or at max talk to a counselor. Take 1 or 2 sessions, right? So that is the solution for temporary thing. But on the other hand, if it is persistent, right? Persistent in the sense like if you are suffering from that kind of episodic, thing, anxiety or depression since years together, like maybe 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, you have been experiencing that persistently, right? Then it's first it is important to diagnose that what do you have. It can be schizophrenia, it can be bipolar, it can be, there are many disorders, right? So the first person to go to is a psychiatrist, right?
Psychiatrist.
If it is persistent. And definitely if the psychiatrist they recommend some medicines, you have to take medication. That is
Oh,
one thing, right? I would like to highlight on the temporary part because most of the people nowadays they generally go through the temporary
temporary.
depression, right? But they overemphasize it a lot, right? Now my request to all of you here who are listening to me is that when you have like stress which is manageable, right? The first point of contact is your family members and your friends. Just open it up, open yourself up and speak out to them, right? So in this case, there is no need of taking any sleeping pill or antidepressant. I'll tell you what will happen. Now, when you go to a doctor, right, he also operates in the physical level, right? Because what happens is he gives you a medicine. So normally what happens is the when the cortisol and cortisone levels in your brain it increases, so that
Okay.
causes stress. So what the doctor does is he just cures the symptom. He gives you a medicine which will decrease the cortisol level, which will increase the serotonin level. So serotonin is a hormone which is called happy hormone. When that serotonin is produced more, then you will start feeling good about yourself. But that is temporary again. Now, if you continue these medicines for 2, 3 months, what will happen is that medicine will become resistant to your body. It will not affect you anymore. Then what will happen is the doctor has to increase the dose a little bit, which is really bad, right? Again, over a period of time, what will happen over a period of 6 months and 1 year? Kya hoga ki you will get used to that. You will start depending on the medicines, right? So I would suggest that as far as that stress is manageable, right? So don't depend on the medicines, right? Because see, the doctor will operate only at the physical level, only with the hormones. But when you think about the psychological level, you know, uh, remember that it is all in your control, right? Because
Right.
psychologically nobody can pull you or push you to, because brain is yours, thoughts are yours, nobody has the control over it except you. And let me tell you that you have all the power to have control on your emotions, your thoughts, right?
Okay.
Yeah, yes, Vishal.
So, what is the difference between normal worry and the anxiety basically in these days, mainly for the student if they are going for the in interviews for the job placement, they are so much anxiety in there and they are worried. So, what is the difference between these? This is also a kind of stress, or what is this basically?
Yes, yes, very good question, Vishalji. Because normally, it is very important to understand the difference between a normal worry and an anxiety. So nowadays, what is happening is, when normally we are getting worried, like, okay, as लेट से मैं घर पहुंची और या फिर इन टाइम आई कुड नॉट सबमिट माय प्रोजेक्ट तो उसके लिए थोड़ा सा स्ट्रेस आते ही वी टेल टू द फैमिली मेंबर्स I'm into depression, don't talk to me, I don't feel like talking to you, right? So it's very important to be aware like what is the difference, right? So the first difference between a normal worry and anxiety is that a normal worry is focused on only the thoughts, right? But on the other hand, anxiety is focused on the thoughts and the body, right? I'll give you an example. Now, when I'm going to, suppose I'm going to speak, in public, I have a presentation and I have to represent around 100 people in a room, right? Now, uh, I start shivering, my heartbeat starts, increasing, my hands, start sweating, right? And there's a sensation in my stomach, and my feet starts, getting some kind of sensation, right? So something is happening at my body level also, right? That is anxiety,
Okay.
right? If
Okay.
it is only on the thought level, then it is normal worry. But if your body starts responding to it, that is anxiety. Second thing is worry is always temporary. Once it comes, it will go away, right? But anxiety is not temporary. It is
Okay.
persistent. Today, if it happened, it will keep on happening. It is episodic, right? Now, third thing is, worry is situational. It is very specific, right? For example, I failed in my test today, so I'm worried, and that worry is gone. But in anxiety, it is more of a general, you know without any reason you will just start, some children you might have seen nowadays, as the schools have opened, they say that mama, I don't want to go to school, I don't know, I'm so worried. That is anxiety, right? Without any reason they are just feeling anxious, they are worried without any reason. That is anxiety, right? So fourth thing is, like more likely this worry, it leads to problem solving, right?
Okay.
If it is a normal worry, right? Suppose I feel that, I have to prepare really well, only 1 week is left for my exam. So if you take that worry, that stress, that leads to, you will just make a plan and make a structure, and every day you will give your 100%, and you will read more and more, just to prepare for the exam. So that results to problem solving. But anxiety, that doesn't, that has worse effects, right? So next thing is, see, worry is more realistic, right? Realistic in the sense, if I say that, last week, complete week, I could not attend the college lectures, so I may fail in this exam, right? That is realistic. Now, this is worry. Anxiety is when I say that, last week, I didn't attend any class. इस year तो पक्का मैं fail हो जाऊंगी. That is not realistic, because your fail or pass is not dependent on that only 1 week missing the class. That is completely unrealistic. मतलब ऐसे ही we just, सोचते रहते हैं, उसको बड़ा बनाते हैं. That is anxiety, right? So generally, worry doesn't affect your functioning of your brain, and anxiety, it affects your concentration. You start forgetting things. Decision making becomes slow. It affects a lot of your functionalities.
So here I am
Yes.
adding one more question for the same thing. How do we
Mm-hmm.
find that this is the anxiety, or should it the depression? Means what is the difference? How we will find out? It means I am stressed, or I am depressed, or I am anxiety. Means how we will find out?
Yes. So first of all, I would like to give you a clarity on the difference between depression and anxiety. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, when we hang on to the past, right? I'll give you my example so that you will understand. Now, for 3.5 years back, when I delivered my baby, it was a big complication. Okay, it was a life and death situation. My baby was in NICU. It was I mean, preterm baby, right? It was in the NICU for 2 months. Okay, and I was completely unconscious, right? So what happened is, after God's grace, we both are really fine now. But what happened is, after I came out of the hospital, because that was a trauma, right? I went into postnatal depression. Now, even now, sometimes what happens is I hang on to that moment, right? I start saying my husband that पता है जो भी हुआ आपके चलते हुआ. When I was pregnant, आप मेरे पास नहीं थे, right? इसीलिए मेरे साथ ऐसा ऐसा हुआ. Because that हुआ is gone. Now we are fine, right? But when you hang on to the past and you're not able to, disconnect with that past event, that is depression, right? Now, anxiety is something related to the future, right? Anxiety is related to the future. Suppose I have exams and I'm consistently thinking about the future. यार ये question आएगा कि नहीं आएगा, मैंने तो इतना ही पढ़ा है, अगर वो जितना मैंने पढ़ा है उससे बाहर अगर questions आ गया तो, right? So what are we doing? We are thinking about the future, right? And in a like professional perspective, आज तो पक्का मुझे गाली सुननी है, because boss had given me certain target and I could not complete it. I don't know, आज तो office जाने, आज तो मेरा बुरा दिन है, right? Again, future. That is anxiety, right? And yes, symptoms. How will I know that I have depression, I have anxiety, right? So the first thing to notice, as I told you, is the sensations in the body, right? See, public speaking event or doing something great or presentation, that time, like, you have sweat hands or heartbeat, that is normal. But like, you're just sitting at home and suddenly some thoughts are overloaded in your mind and you start sweating, that is not normal,
Right.
right? So any kind of tiredness, fatigue, extra fatigue, like you without doing anything, you start feeling, tired. You feel like I cannot do anything. I'm tired, right? So that means that you have some kind of mental illness. You're going through something like depression or anxiety. So second thing is insomnia, like problem in sleeping consistently. If you are having sleepless nights, then you can understand that, okay, there is something wrong with my mind, right? So third thing is trouble in concentrating. Suppose you're not able to focus in a particular work, right? So that means that some kind of mental illness is there. Now, see, the behavior automatically changes. Now, आपकी अगर normal behavior ये है ना कि like आपको लोगों से बातें करना बहुत पसंद है, आपको बाहर घूमना बहुत पसंद है, आपको खाना पीना बहुत पसंद है, बस अचानक से ये social withdrawal हो जाना, like मुझे किसी से बात नहीं करना है, आपकी favorite dish सामने रखा हुआ है, बोल रहे हो कि नहीं नहीं खाने का भी मन नहीं है. So that change of behavior is mental illness, right? Or like at a physical level, if you feel अचानक से there is some muscle tension, मतलब कुछ ऐसा भारी भारी लग रहा है, right? And like headache अचानक से हो रहा है, डायरिया हो गया, पेट खराब हो गया तुरंत से बिना रीजन का. These are small symptoms, right? Hope I answered your question, Vishal ji.
No, no, no. You have answers all my questions very detailed, and I am really appreciate that which you have shared. It's really very learning for all of us. Now you have already explained for the anxiety. You have already explained for the stress as well as for the depression. Now I want to know that how we deal it. What is the solutions and what kind of means solution you can give for our viewers and our users. So if they found such kind of things in their life, how they will be handle it. So now I just want to the solution. Solution क्या है इन सब चीजों का? Any tips,
Definitely.
any
Solution.
tricks, and your suggestions? It's really
Yes, definitely. I will give you the solution. So generally, as you had told me to talk with perspective of the workplace, है ना, with perspective to the students, entrepreneurs, professionals. So I will start little bit with the general, how to generally deal with it. right? Then I will come to the workplace wala,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, so the first thing to deal with it is, you have to look for something which you like doing, right? So, if suppose if you like listening to music, you like dancing, you like watering plants, you like watching movies, जो भी अच्छा लगता है, try to include that in your daily routine, right? And physical exercise is very important because the moment you stop doing any physical activities, it will definitely affect your mental health because body and mind are absolutely related,
Okay.
right? That is one thing. Now, another thing I would say is
Physical
whenever you
exercise
feel,
means it means that yoga, meditation is also work here, right?
yes, so whatever suits you, like अगर आपको योगा अच्छा लगता है, तो आप मतलब ज्यादा नहीं, आधा घंटे, 15 minutes, start from 15 minutes. Like there are a lot of, yoga exercises, breathing exercises really work. I do practice it. Like I am a part of Art of Living. तो वहाँ
Okay.
पे like Gurudev, he teaches very good Sudarshan Kriya. It's a breathing exercise, right? वो कर सकते हैं या फिर yoga for 15 minutes या फिर किसी को जिम जाना है तो वो तो बेस्ट है या फिर रनिंग जॉगिंग ये सारे फिजिकल एक्टिविटीज राइट नाउ सेकंड थिंग व्हिच आई वुड सजेस्ट इज नॉर्मली व्हेन वी गो थ्रू समथिंग राइट लाइक मेंटली हम लो फील कर रहे हैं सो व्हाट वी कैन डू इज वी इफ वी स्टार्ट हेल्पिंग पीपल हु आर also going through the same, that will help. Because ये एक simple सा logic है. It's a law of universe that when you start giving whatever you want, that comes back to you, right?
Okay.
अगर whether it is love, whether it is respect, अगर आपको चाहिए तो आपको देना ही है.
Then I
Care, right? तो
Newton's
इसमें
law.
क्या है? Yes, yes. So here, if we start caring for those people who are going through a bad time, or that's a normal human connection. When you make a human connection, what happens is, somewhere or the other, your self-worth, your self-esteem improves, and that helps you feel better, right? That is another thing. So, yes, so the most important thing, this is basically for the students, so is try to detach yourself with the gadgets, from the gadgets, right?
From
See,
today's
for the
world.
professional,
From the today's world.
yes, yes, I'll come to that. I know it is practically very much impossible, I can say, like for the especially for the entrepreneurs and the professional people to, detach themselves from the mobile phone. But yes, we can at least make a little effort to at least, decrease the time. Suppose
Right.
today I'm spending 10 hours of my time with my gadget, right? So I can at least decrease 2 hours initially, then maybe 3 hours. Maybe I can use it for 4 or 5 hours only, right? So for this, the first thing I would say is, just write down the bad effects of the gadget, right? So that you will become aware that अगर मैं मतलब इसको consistently use कर रहा हूँ, तो what is happening to me, right? It is straining your eyes, पहली बात. Second, obviously, it is affecting your physical health, right? Then it's causing headache. तो बहुत सारी चीजें उसको list down कर लो आप. This is one thing. Second thing is also list down the uses of a mobile phone. राइट तो आजकल क्या है कि अपार्ट फ्रॉम लाइक कॉलिंग मैसेजिंग और सारे बिजनेस टॉक्स
Surfing also there.
मेलिंग हाँ तो लाइक मोबाइल फोन वी यूज इट फॉर एवरीथिंग लिसनिंग
Right.
म्यूजिक वाचिंग मूवीज है ना तो कुछ कुछ वो चीजें इफ so normally when we connect with the virtual world what happens is we gradually unknowingly start disconnecting with the real world वो आपने फील किया होगा राइट एक बार फोन की आदत आपको लग गई सोशल मीडिया की आदत लग गई तो आपको किसी से बात करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी और कभी मन भी नहीं होगा right now for the people who are having some mental illness having some depression I would say कि social media से थोड़ा दूर रहिए right I'll tell you why because see when you are in a good state तब तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि आप फोटो उठा के अपना डालते हो यार मैं ये कर रहा हूँ वो कर रहा हूँ मैं यहाँ पे घूम रहा हूँ घूम रही हूँ right then when people appreciate and then they put good comments you feel very good but when you're depressed the ulta happens when you look at other people enjoying their life putting big photos So the feeling which comes to you is यार मेरे साथ ही क्यों? Why am I depressed? मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? जबकि लोग इतना enjoy कर रहे हैं. Look at them, they are so happy. So your self-worth, your self-esteem, it goes down, right? Especially at the time when you're stressed, just stay away from the social media. Yeah, coming back to like how, to deal with this. So, जैसे कि मैंने बोला था कि like you can at least decrease the time. So, for example, instead of playing the video game, you can play tennis with your friends. That can be a
Okay.
replacement, right? Second thing, listening music from a phone, उसको हम लोग we can listen music from a radio, family music party हो जाएगी, right? रेडियो रख के हम मस्त सुन रहे हैं. That can be a replacement, right? ये हो सकता है. थर्ड इज सपोज वी आर वॉचिंग अ मूवी, नेटफ्लिक्स वगैरह आजकल फोन पे ही हम लोग चला देते हैं, मतलब चलता रहता है, राइट? सो व्हाट वी कैन डू इज, तो हमारी जो मोबाइल की स्क्रीन है, राइट, वो छोटी है. तो टीवी में अगर हम देखते हैं थोड़ी दूर से, सो दैट डजंट हैव सो मच ऑफ इम्पैक्ट, राइट? सो एक फैमिली टाइम भी हो जाएगी, फैमिली बॉन्डिंग भी हो जाएगी, सो वी कैन सी द मूवी टुगेदर. ये एक चीज हो सकती है. नेक्स्ट थिंग इज वी हैव टू सेट सर्टेन रूल्स, जैसे कि डाइनिंग टेबल रूल्स हो गया, राइट? जब हम खाने खा रहे हो, मतलब खाना खा रहे हैं डाइनिंग टेबल में, सो वी शुड हैव अ रूल की नो फोन पॉलिसी, right? While eating, no phones. Kids, bache, parents, nobody should have the phone on their hands, right? So generally, I have a no phone policy after 10 at my home, which I'm following since maybe like since I was married,
Okay.
right? And that is strictly followed. Not only me, I don't make any calls after 10 or receive any calls after 10. Even my husband does that. So ये छोटी छोटी चीजें when we start implementing in our lives, just replacing the gadgets वाला thing into something doing with our friends or with our family members, तो वो क्या कि human connection बढ़ाने में help करता है. And जितना ज्यादा आप human connection बढ़ाओगे ना, real world से connect करोगे, not only with people, with animals, with plants, तो वो mental जो illness है ना, वो कम होता जाएगा, right? The effect will be lesser and lesser. Now, coming to the professional front, coming to the work scenario. So, what you can do is, number one, stress क्यों होता है? Normally, workload, right? या फिर, when there is a very less time between the workload and the achievement, right? For example, it may be any reason. Like suppose 5 लोगों का team है, right? Suddenly one person leaves, right? तो टाइम तो हमारे पास उतना ही है, बट एक इंसान कम गया है, right? There are 4 people who have to do the task of 5 people, right? So हम क्या कर सकते हैं कि we have to prioritize the task. पहला थिंग, कौन सा ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है सबसे, देन द सेकंड प्रायोरिटी. तो प्लानिंग दैट थिंग, लाइक जो भी कल का दिन है पूरा, अगर हम आज रात को ही बस 10 मिनट लगेगा, इफ वी कैन प्लान द डे आउट, दैट विल help us a lot in workplace, right? So second thing is, break the bigger projects into small chunks, so that your brain should accept that okay, this is doable, हम कर सकते हैं. इतना बड़ा सा प्रोजेक्ट थमा दिया, oh my god, मतलब देख के ही ओवरवेलमिंग हो गया, right? So we can break it into chunks. Third is very important कि plan some regular breaks within your work time. So I call these breaks buzz moments, right? So what are buzz moments? Now whatever whatever makes you feel good and feel happy, it can be a small coffee break. ये एक छोटा सा मतलब एक मतलब 2 मिनट का म्यूजिक आपने सुन लिया, या फिर 2 मिनट का मोटिवेशनल वीडियो देख लिया, राइट? जिसको जो भी अच्छा लगता है, राइट? थोड़ा सा बाहर नेचर में वॉक हो गया, राइट? छोटी छोटी चीजें. So these are called buzz moments. When you insert these buzz moments throughout your routine in a day, अगर 3-4 बार, ये टाइम नहीं लगता है. अगर if you love reading, ऐसे ही ब्रेक लिया है 5 मिनट का, या इधर कॉफी सिप कर रहे हो, इधर से आप थोड़ा रीडिंग कर लिया, राइट? So that way, if you introduce these buzz moments, 3 to 4 times in a day, definitely that will reduce the stress to a very. I have, this is my experience. I have
Okay.
done that, and that's the reason. So what I normally do is I take small breaks and just play with the baby, right? So ये एक है. और हाँ, one very important thing is maintain a boundary for yourself. आपकी बाउंड्री मेंटेन करो. डोंट टेल योर बॉस कि आई एम अवेलेबल फॉर 24 आवर्स. नो, कीप few hours for yourself, right? 2-3 घंटे ऐसे रखो. You say कि like I won't receive any messages, I won't send any mails during this, I'm not available during this hours, right? So make it very clear. And the last thing I would say is, like, don't overcommit to yourself. जितना कर सकते हो उतना ही काम लो,
Right.
right? So yeah, I think that has answered your question.
So thank you, Priyankini. You have very well explained about stress, depression, and anxiety, and also after that you have explained how to handle it, and you have also given the very good solutions to all of us. Now, I think we have the very short time now, but we can check it out if any of the viewers who are with us right now,
Hi Neeti, so
if
many
they
people are
wants to
joining.
if they
Thank you so
wants
much,
to ask
Ishan.
if they wants to ask any questions, we can invite them. So right now
Yes.
I have just checked it out who all are there. uh,
Yes, guys, any questions you want to ask or you want to add on to something,
yeah
we would be glad to hear
I
from
think
you.
Ishan, if you wants to add ask any question, Soumya Kant, Moni Lisa, and one more is some Charita Mahanta. If anyone wants to ask any question, I will just invite them. Please write into the message box. I don't have an. You can also call Priyankini. I think if they have any question. If Ishan, have you any question? I don't think so. So anyway, thank you, Priyankini. Thanks you very much for the today's session. It's really very interesting and very learning experience to all of us. And thank you once again.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me, Vishalji, and I would love to come again and again to your live shows. And I feel really good, spreading awareness among people, talking to people, and thank you so much for this opportunity. And
Okay.
yes,
So
anybody, if you want to know something, you can
yeah,
definitely put your questions here so that I can
yeah.
answer them.
So I will the last note for the today's session that if anyone wants to ask questions from the Priyankini and anyone wants to connect with Priyankini, they can just ping it out on our Instagram or our portal TURNSKILL, and I will connect you and you. Okay, thank you, Priyankini. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye everyone. Bye.